Hey everybody, I know this is going to be 2 or 3 videos in one day, but see, I get the question of like, that's great, that's the Smeltery's cool, but how do I build it? How do I use it? Like you gotta hook me up, B2. So let's start from the beginning. We're gonna run over, and I've made the parts already that you need. But what I'm going to do is come over here and look at some of the recipes. So right away you're going to see you need these seared bricks. And so seared bricks, if you click on them, you're going to see you need grout. If you click on grout, you're going to need gravel, sand, and clay. So those are some of the things you're going to need. I would say probably, I don't know, if you get... I mean, you're gonna need a lot. Just get like a few stacks of each. Spend the time to go grind it and make a decent smeltery. Don't make the small one that I'm gonna show you. If I was to knock this wall out, this smeltery is probably twice as tall as what you see, and the only reason for that is that it holds more stuff. What does that mean? Hold more stuff, B2. Here in the smeltery, that's why this can hold so much liquid in here. That's a lot in there. And if I was to go in here and grab some more of it. Did I get two? I only got one. Let me grab one more. You'll see I can put a whole stack in here. Plus, what is that? Almost another 20, 18. So if you look, this thing is just chock full of stuff. And when you first build the smelter, you won't even have this bar. It is the single best way to process your ores early game. Now, there's other ways you can do like ore washing plants and quadruple or even octuple your ores. That's something that I just don't get into. I don't ever need that much ores for stuff. So I just kind of leave it in the smeltery, or like Bryson will process a little bit of it in his industrial craft 2 room. But I'm going to show you basically how to build this and how to get going with it. We are going to need, you know, we won't do the redstone clock. I won't get into that right now. I'll come and just show you how mine works. So I prepped a little bit of an area up here. And so you will see you'll need a 3x3 section clear. This is going to be the bottom of your smeltery. So if you just place your 3 rows in, now this is very, very important from here on out. Most people will go and build it like this, right? Because it needs to be a block, and so you'll build this whole thing. You don't need these corners in here. And that's going to save you time and save you materials early game. You're welcome for that, and you'll see what I mean once you get going. Now the smeltery is pretty much, that's the bottom layer of the smeltery. It's pretty much built. So now the next thing you're going to need is a smeltery controller. So you're going to need to pop that on there. You're going to have a way to get stuff out of it. So you're going to need your smeltery drain. And I just do them all on the front. Everybody has their own way of doing things. You can put these anywhere in here. You can have multiple drains. You can even use multiple controllers. Don't spend the mats, just make one. And so then you just kind of start filling on. Now here's the thing. Don't fall in this smeltery once you get it set up and get lava in it, because it will kill you and you will have blood in your smeltery. Every single person who's played Minecraft has pretty much done that. So just be careful with that. And so you can see, like, I've got extra bricks, so I'm going to keep just going down here. The other quick way to get parts for your smeltery is to go to villages and break down the smeltery. So that's pretty much it, and you'll see that it's working correctly because the smeltery controller will fire up and hit like that. Now you're going to need some fuel. You can see right through here, you don't have any fuel in there. This is the kind of the best way that I've found to do it. I usually just get a drum of lava. They're easy to get early game. I just toss me on a little connector like that, and then you're going to need a servo. So let me get this servo out of there, and these are super easy to make if you look for the parts. The servo is just going to extract stuff on there. Whoop, there we go. You'll put that in, blip, and see how it says there's nothing happening yet. You have to right click it and set it to no redstone, and then bloop, 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 bloop. Look at that lava for days in there. Look, I've got 223 buckets, 222 buckets. So that means that that will stay fired up pretty much for a few days worth of hardcore smelting with 256 buckets. So now you have a smeltery. I don't have anything that I want to smelt right now because I don't have to pour it out, but let me... well, that's anyway. So I'm going to go down to... Well, let's throw my pickaxe. So I'm going to break this down now and get rid of this. You see how the fire went off as soon as we took one of the bricks off of it, which means you can get inside there and get rid of that. Now, all these are parts that I had extra from being around other villages and whatnot. So we're just going to hammer this out. I was in the nether earlier getting this cobalt and ardite, and actually I'm going to show you the top tier tools once we get fired back up again. And this is going to go back into Tinkers, and I will do a short video on Tinkers once we finish doing the Smeltery stuff. So you'll want to take a look at your Tinkers handbook, materials, and definitely modifiers, and see what works for you. Early game, I always use osmium. It's plentiful. You don't need it at that point. Like, you're going to get into mechanism, you'll need osmium, but by the time that rolls around, you'll have already progressed past and have plenty of osmium to use. Once you get the hammer, and I'll show you what that does, and I'll probably make one as well. So this is what it's going to look like afterwards. Now, we always add some cool stuff on here around to kind of spice it up. So we always put a chest up here, and we keep ores in there that need to be processed. So anybody who walks past this can look and say, oh, there's nothing in here. Let me continue with this yellorium, and then fill the smeltery back up, and then we put what's left back in the chest. This is just our way of doing it. There's a ton of other ways to do it. Now, you see that it's pouring automatically. Let me turn this lever off, and this will harden and cool and go down. This is actually an ME chest. It's a hopper underneath there. You can do a regular chest because ME systems are going to be kind of an advanced stage for the smeltery, but this will go into this drive, which is accessible through the window up here. So if I go in here and look at yellorium, there's 427, right? So let's go back and turn this on. The redstone clock is kind of a neat thing. You can turn the smeltery on and off. If I turn it on, it's going to start pouring automatically and hardening and cooling, right? So if I go up in here and I look at yellorium, it's 428. It's going to go to 429. And then it's pouring again over there. You can probably see it. Let's see if we can get an angle on it. So it's going to pour. It's hardening. It pours. And we're going to look in here. Now it's going to be 431. See, so basically that's how that works. There underneath of here, there is cable run, and I can show you that. I always try to hide my cabling. I just think it makes the game look better. And you can do all your crazy cables and stuff down here. But this is the one that goes to the ME. Not the ME, but the ME chest that's way down there with the connector, and it's set up there. But we don't need to take apart the room to show you that. That's kind of like next level once you get past the basic automation. So we just kind of let the table fill up here. Look, there's 457 bars of yellorium in here waiting to go, and that's how you can see where we have so much in our ME system. If you look at ores and stuff like that, if I look for iron, we've got 959 iron, which is enough to keep us going for a while. We also we don't do regular mining. We use a digital miner that we've created. Super cool, and I'll do a video on that. It took me about 3 to 4 hours to build the machines and to create the parts to get this digiminer out there. Let me go ahead and put these parts back in here while we're talking. And I'm going to keep the ore on there. I did a slash clear earlier and cleared my inventory out and lost a bunch of tools. So that's the smeltery, basically. And if you look, this has 155 barrels of lava. It's got plenty to process. And it's just going to go and go and go. Now, the patterns in here, the casting table, I'm going to show that to you in Tinkers, and I'm going to clear out the smeltery. I'm going to show you what the casting table does, what the casting basin does. The casting table, you can do 1 ingot at a time with this ingot cast, and then with the basin, you can do 9 ingots at a time, or basically make a block. So we keep our ingots in here, our casts, and I'll show you in my Tinkers update on how to make these casts. It's a very cool setup with these Tinker tables, and that's going to be how you make your tools early game and mine and do basically all the cool stuff. So I hope that has taught you plenty about smelteries and how to operate them and how to kind of automate them a little bit. Not fully automated for sure, but enough to get you going on your day. So any questions, hit me up. Thanks, guys. See ya.